The Boston Massacre, a pivotal moment leading up to the American Revolution, took place on March 5, 1770. Tensions had been mounting between American colonists and British soldiers who had been stationed in Boston to enforce British laws and taxes that the colonists deeply resented. This environment of unrest created a volatile mix that would explode in an unforgettable clash. It was a cold, clear night on March 5, 1770. Snow had fallen on the cobblestone streets of Boston, muffling the footsteps of those few who were brave enough to venture out. But despite the chill, a crowd of colonists had gathered near the customs house, where British troops stood guard. The resentment in Boston had grown over months of heavy taxation. New laws like the Townshend Acts imposed taxes on items as basic as tea, glass and paper. For many Bostonians, this night was another reminder of their growing desire for freedom. A young apprentice, Edward Garrick, stood among the crowd. He had been insulted by a British soldier, and not one to let things slide, he hurled a taunt at the soldier, accusing him of not paying his barber's bill. This little insult might have passed unnoticed, but tensions were already high. A soldier named Hugh White, standing nearby, took offence. Soon the two exchanged heated words, drawing the attention of other colonists and soldiers alike. The crowd thickened and the air buzzed with anger and defiance. Colonists shouted insults, calling the soldiers lobsterbacks because of their red coats. Some began to throw snowballs and bits of ice. British soldiers, sensing the hostility of the crowd, grew tense. Captain Thomas Preston, the officer in charge, quickly arrived, trying to restore order and hold back his soldiers from overreacting. But the mob only grew louder and the situation was spinning out of control. "Fire if you dare!" someone shouted from the crowd, the words echoing in the tense night. Suddenly a shot rang out, a single explosive sound that shattered the night air. No one knew exactly why it happened or who fired first, but that one shot opened the floodgates. The soldiers, believing they were under attack, fired into the crowd. Chaos erupted as 5 men fell, their bodies crumpling in the snowy street. Among the victims was Crispus Attucks, a sailor of African and Native American descent who would become remembered as one of the first martyrs of the American Revolution. The other victims were Samuel Gray, James Caldwell, Samuel Maverick and Patrick Carr. Their cries filled the night as blood soaked into the snow. The crowd dispersed in horror, and news of the massacre spread quickly through the colonies. The event would be immortalized in a famous engraving by Paul Revere, showing British soldiers firing on an innocent, unarmed crowd. The image circulated throughout the colonies, stoking outrage and strengthening anti-British sentiment. In the aftermath, Captain Preston and his soldiers were put on trial for murder. John Adams, a respected lawyer and future president, bravely took on their defense, arguing that they had fired in self-defense. In the end, only 2 soldiers were found guilty of manslaughter, their punishment a branding on the thumb. But the damage had already been done. The Boston Massacre left a scar on the heart of Boston. The Boston Massacre became a rallying cry for those seeking independence. It showed the colonists that their cries for freedom would not be silenced. This event, remembered as a massacre and a martyrdom, helped turn ordinary people into patriots. It was a night of blood in the snow that foreshadowed a revolution. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to our channel for more historical content. Your support helps us bring more stories from the past to life.